Hello, ADHD parents. My name is Brielle Kennington. I'm one of the administrators of the ADHD Parent Support Group on Facebook, and I want to give you some tips for your ADHD kiddos, or if you have ADHD, especially if you're a teenager, this video is for you. We're going to be talking about finding friends. I think that it's a common issue. I myself struggled with it when I was a kid, but now looking at me as an adult and even middle school, high school, I had tons and tons of friends, but it wasn't always that way. When I got to about probably 7th grade, I found myself all of a sudden I had no friends. Nobody wanted to spend time with me. I wasn't invited to parties anymore. And I'd be in social situations where I would say something and people would kind of look at me strangely. Or one time a girl said, "Why do you follow us around?" And I think it kind of was an aha moment for me. And so I learned how to make friends. Some of the information is going to be from personal experience that I give you today. Some of it is from the Attitude magazine, ADDITUDEMAG. You can look it up. There's an app even that you can view stuff from there. In particular, there's an article from Gretchen Rubin, and so some of the stuff is from her, so I want to give her credit for that. But studies show that if you have 5 friends to discuss an important matter, you're more likely to describe yourself as very happy. And studies also show that having friends lengthens your life, boosts your immunity, your immune system, and cuts the risk of depression. And a lot of times, depression and ADHD go hand in hand. And so here's some tips for you. Number 1, you need to show up. You can't just say, "I don't have any friends." Okay, well, what are you doing to make friends and to make a difference? Whenever you have the chance to see other people, take it. If you're invited to a party, go. If you're passing somebody's desk, stop and chat. Sometimes it's scary to put yourself out there, but you can't let fear of rejection stop you from pursuing friendships and making an effort. You have to make an effort because if you make an effort, people are going to notice that, and they're way more likely to invite you. There was a girl that I kept inviting her to stuff, and she would say no. So eventually I stopped inviting her. Because it was intimidating and it made me feel rejected. You got to look at yourself, really internalize what you're doing and what you're projecting to see what you can do to make a difference. Also, studies show that repeated exposure makes you like someone better and vice versa. That's how you build relationships, is you are exposed to somebody. And sometimes you might be thinking, well, okay, how do I do that? Well, you have school. You are there for 7 or 8 hours a day. Make an effort to talk to people, to learn about people, ask them about their interests and hobbies. And you can also join a group. What are you interested in? You can even make a list. Do you go to youth group? Sometimes church kids are really nice. That's where I found a lot of my friends, is from church youth group. We called it mutual. Sports, marching band, drama, musicals, chess, rocks, 4-H, martial arts. Even I'm sure there's some gaming groups. I'm not into that, so I don't know. But it's got to be face-to-face stuff. You can't just rely on social media. Friends on Instagram, I'm sorry, but those aren't real friends unless you're interacting with them on a face-to-face basis and spending time with them. Just think about what you're interested in. And you can even check out local Facebook groups. There's one locally for me, Mountain Mamas of Flagstaff. I've met friends on there, and I'm sure that there's some stuff for teens and kids as well. There's also Meetup. And if you're not seeing a group for something that you're passionate about or that you really enjoy, take the lead, create one. Meetup is awesome. You can create a group and then people can search for it, and it'll take time. You can't just be like, "Oh, nobody wants to be my friend." Okay, well, simmer down, give it some time and make an effort. But expose yourself to people that have similar interests, and it's going to be so much more comfortable and easy to make lasting friendships. Common interests boost the chances of lasting interests, and I didn't just make that up. That's actually studies have been done on that topic. Also, say nice things about other people. Compliment them. I think that sometimes impulse control can be an issue with friendships because you can come across as a know-it-all or mean, or you kind of say off-the-wall things and people are like, "What? That was random." that like my friends would even be like, that was random, Brielle. And luckily, like, you know, it was a safe enough friendship that I could like be like, well, you said this, it made me think of this, it made me think of this, and then I said this. But I'm very impulsive. I don't have a very good filter when I'm talking to people, but I'm not a jerk. So it's okay. So when I'm saying something and it's impulsive, it's usually something very nice. And it's something I've had to work on. Instead of saying like your breath smells or your teeth are yellow, say like, I really like that color on you, or thank you for doing this. Like thanking people, using your manners, complimenting people. It really, really goes a long way. Studies show that people also unintentionally transfer to you what you say about other people. So here's an example. So say I'm telling Jessica that Brittany's a snob. Guess what? Brittany now thinks that you are a snob. And it goes the other way. If I say to Jessica, Brittany is always so kind, or Brittany always looks so put together, guess what? Jessica now thinks that you're kind and that you're put together. So you just have to be very self-aware of what you're doing. I know that it can be so easy to just think that like the problem was with everybody else, but that will not get you anything. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to get you what you want. You need to, you can't change other people. You can't control other people. You can't decide what other people do, but you can change your actions, your reactions to people. And that's the only thing that you can control. So that's what you need to focus on. Also set a target. I know that sounds a little weird and a little fake, but it works. When you go to school, you can even say, okay, I'm going to say something nice and smile to 5 people today. Or I'm going on this trip. I'm going to make this many friends, or I'm going to the park. I'm going to talk to this many people. And kind of a joke that my husband and I have, like when I go on a trip, or if I'm like just going about my day, going to the grocery store or going to the park with my daughter, he'll say, how many friends did you make today? Because I am constantly talking to people, being nice to people, and I get people's like other moms' phone numbers. And it doesn't come naturally to me. I've had to work on this, and this is something that I've kind of established over the years. And now it's kind of a joke because I'm constantly making friends, because relationships are just so important, and it can really lift you up and you can lift up others. Also, just making an effort to smile. I know it sounds so small and insignificant, but have you ever heard of like resting, like, I don't want to swear, but like resting bee face? That can be very intimidating to people. You don't look approachable if you're not smiling. And so I want you to think of the movie Elf. I love smiling. Smiling's my favorite. But honestly, like that's me. That's my life. I actually have had experiences where like people think that like men think I'm hitting on them because like I'm like smiling and I make eye contact, and that's just how my face looks. My husband, I'll like look at him like, you know, like this, and he'll say, what? And I'm like, nothing. That's just how my face looks. It's easy to do, but it's easy not to do. But when you're smiling, you're more approachable, and it impacts your mood. It impacts other people's moods. It seems so small, but it's like, these are the types of things that when you're establishing a new habit, sometimes the hardest part is remembering. So write it on a Post-it note on your mirror, or write it on your hand. As a kid, I always had something written on my hand. Now I like use my phone and stuff, but set a reminder to smile, or set a reminder in your phone to say something nice to people. Write it down, make it a priority so that you make it happen. And also befriend friends of your friends. If you have like a really close friend, maybe set up like go to the movies with that friend and another friend, or have them over to like watch a show you really like together. Instead of starting from scratch and like feeling like you're having to like harvest friends, just make friends with your friends. When you go to different activities you're involved in, try to make friends with your other friends. That's what ultimately I did. In marching band and musicals, those people, like youth group, those kids became my tribe. They became my friends. And just remember, you become what you surround yourself with. I think that it can be, my issues with my friends started with because I was friends with like the popular crowd. But guess what? The grass is greener on the other side. They were not the type of influences that I needed in my life. So just be aware with that. You become what you surround yourself with. So if you want to be happy, if you want to be a good student, if you want to pursue a certain hobby, be friends with those people. If you see someone who's like something that not that you should be judging people or that wanting something that you don't have, but look for good people, because then you're going to become a good person and vice versa. So I hope these are helpful. If you have any more questions or suggestions, I'd love to see it in the comments below. Things that have worked for you, or friends that you've made that you've been involved with, just your experiences with the topic. I love to get the conversation going and seeing what people are doing, things that are working for them, that type of thing. So, and also if you're having specific issues, just leave it in the comments and I'll help as much as I can. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.